Hello and welcome to your program Just For You, and this is your man Sonny Wayne Fella coming to you today with something very interesting. You know, at times if we're not careful, we ourselves will make our leaders aristocrats or make them authoritarian or make them dictators. You know, we tend to blame our leaders for things that they do, right? For sometimes the mishap and the decisions they make, the appointments they make. And we feel that is not the right kind of thing to do, but you cannot satisfy everybody. I want us to understand that those of you in YouTube land and who are Liberians and maybe other African countries or even the Western world, sometimes we turn our leaders or our leadership into authoritarian or dictators, people who make the final decisions. And when those of us who are the commoners, once we don't know that these are the things that are happening, we tend to blame those in the higher ups, right? We blame the president, we blame those who should be making decisions for our life to become better. I bet that's the deal, right? But you know, it is so appalling at times to listen to people who call themselves, leaders. And they give the gavel or the authority to the president of a republic or the Republic of Liberia. All right? I know Liberia is a Republican country, but we give them the authority to do some of the things they do unbeknown to ourselves. It is stated that there is a law that was passed in 2018 giving the president the full authority, the full right to appoint the city mayor. And I believe other positions that should be on the ballot, he was given the full right, the full authority to decide. And I believe that's why today our very cities and our country is lacking behind. It is not being developed because of the unknown dictatorship attitude of our people or of our leaders, because the legislatures give him the authority or give them the authority as dictators to determine how we should live, to determine how our cities and countries should be clean, to determine who do what or who does what. They gave him the power. 2018, as I mentioned, they passed a local law, according to the Internal Affairs Ministry or the department, that the president should appoint the city mayor. And when you give the authority to a person, you are giving them a form of dictatorship. You are telling them you have the power to do whatever you want to do. And if that person has a friend who is very close or a relative or a partner or a companion, and there is a position open like the city mayor, what do you expect him to do or her to do? They will appoint someone into that position that is close to them because they want to give that person some form of leadership so that they can earn their living. So I fully believe that law that was passed in 2018 to give the president the full authority to appoint should be repealed. That's my conclusion. It must and should be repealed. Because we saw in the past 6 years, what happened? The city mayor that was there, he was a very close friend of the president. And we saw how the city of Monrovia was filthy, and it's still filthy. Because it was due to friendship, not due to whether you know the job or that person was on the ballot to be elected by the people, for the people, and of the people. That wasn't what happened. And because of that, Liberia had been slacking behind with everything almost. The city is terrible. The walls, houses are not being painted. Everything is so dilapidated. We have sharks everywhere you turn. It's because of the appointment of these people by the head of state. The legislature need to go back to the drawing board and repeal such, authority that was given to the president. They need to repeal it. The city mayor position needs to be on the ballot. Let them be accountable to the citizens of the country and not only the president of Liberia. Even this police inspector, he needs to be on the ballot. Superintendent, like governors or like a president of a province or a city, he needs to be on the ballot of his what? His town, his city, or his county. We see the typical example. The Grandians were protesting against the person that Mr. Boakai, His Excellency, appointed as the superintendent of Grand Jide. If he had given the chance to the people of Grand Jide to appoint or to elect, not appoint, sorry, but to elect their own superintendent, they will be able to pick the right person, elect the right person, and they will have no problem. But because the president appoint whoever he feel is right for him, not for the people, but for him, it causes problem. It causes chaos. It causes division. And that is what we see today in Liberia. He have just started 1 month being president, and now we see protests everywhere. It just reminds me of a man that was president here of the United States. He became president and rioting and protesting and killing and arresting and destruction was rampant here in the United States. Until when this new man came in, we found out that we hardly have any protests. There's nothing hardly we are having because they know how to deal with these situations when they come about. But he didn't see it that way. He took it as what? Being a dictator, being an authoritarian. And that's the same power they are trying to give. They give to the Liberian president. Because I know in the past, when we were younger, these people were being elected by the citizens of that particular county or the city. But today we don't see it anymore. Now the president have the right, the legal right, to appoint whoever he wants to appoint as city mayor, whoever he wants to appoint as inspector general, whoever he wants to appoint as judges. Various county judges and state judges here, they are elected. There are certain ones that are appointed by the president, but there are certain ones that work within. The federal is appointed by the president. But those in the various states, they are elected by the electees, those who go to the ballot. We need to begin to establish ourselves in a way that will make our country go forward. We are static because we depend on one man's expertise to run our country, to make our country a better place to live. And that is appalling. That is not right. And those things need to start changing. We know change is inevitable, but it is difficult to change. But we have to do what we can to make it right. To make it right. We were told 100 days, no car will be stuck again in the mud. It is not happening. 30 days are already passed? How many more days we have? 70 or less? Will the president of Liberia put his foot in his mouth as well? Because things that you can't do and you go and expel it or expand on it, guess what happened? People begin to hold on to those things and begin to criticize the government. Because there are a few things now I see criticism coming. He flew with the Ghana Air Force plane to Ghana for his own personal thing, and he said he was going for working visit, which I don't know if that is the truth. But even a working visit, where are the pictures? Where are the photos? Our president left Liberia and went to a foreign country. Then there were no press people. Nobody showed what he wanted to do. But these are some of the things we got to be careful with. Because if you, the legislature, give the president so much authority, and you fail to realize you are a branch of government. If you give him one branch of government so much authority to become a dictator, then you're going to bear the consequences. Whereas you are bearing it today and you guys are complaining. Some of you walked out of the confirmation hearing of the city mayor, stating that the president should not appoint the city mayor. But it was the same you who went and passed the law that the president have the right to appoint whoever he wants to appoint. And today they are appointing their family members. The nepotism seems to be becoming rampant in Liberia, and then you all sit and complain. Why are you complaining when you give them the authority to do what they are doing? So we need to put stop to the backbiting and the grumbling and all those things that we do. We need to come out and say the truth. You legislature to be blamed. You are to be blamed for what is happening in Liberia today. Since Mr. George Weah now Bweka is there, they are following the same trend, and that is wrong. But who am I to say it is wrong? I'm just a feeble human being. People ask me every time, are you a Liberian? Are you a true Liberian? Because when you speak the truth, people don't want to understand or hear the truth. They want, because what they are so set in their old ways, they don't want change. Because they feel that when change comes, they will lose whatever they have because they are so corrupt. They're so corrupt. And that is the point. So today I just came to let you know, as my subscribers and my viewers, that the legislature give the executive branch, the head of the executive branch, the right to become a dictator, to determine how our country run, to determine who do what and who didn't do what. People are now gossip going around that people are paying people for jobs. This is despicable. This is sad. People need to hold positions that they know how to do it. Don't just grab anybody because he's your relative, he's your sister relative, or your wife relative, or your son or your daughter or whoever, and just throw them into positions. And when those positions are not being cared for and the work is not being done appropriately and adequately, the country suffers the consequences. The country suffers the consequences because we feel that we can throw anybody anywhere because we have the authority to do it, and the legislature give them the authority to do it. So now they are doing whatever they want to do because you give them the right. You make the law, the Senate pass it, and then the police and the armed forces and whatnot, or the police enforces the law. So now you have given him the right to decide how we should live in our country, where should be clean, what. You know, people talking about they need to buy 1,000 motorbikes for each county. What are you people talking about? What are you people talking about? We need cars. We don't need motorbikes. We need people to have living wage that they can purchase themselves cars and taxis and buses. Not motorbike. We are not a village. And so you people stay there and make such pronouncement that the president, the government, or the UP government should buy 1,000 motorbikes for each county. What a dumb and crazy thing to say. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit emotional. Liberia is not a farm. It is a country. Monrovia is the capital city of Liberia. I've been advocating for us to change the capital city of Liberia. Someone told me, oh, you know, even the dump can be clean. Yes, the dump can be clean, but you must maintain it. If you clean the dump, the garbage dump, it looks good. But if you don't maintain it and you allow people to keep throwing garbages as they do in Monrovia, Kakata, and other cities in Liberia, it will never be clean. It will be dirty as it is today. The new city mayor now, he's wearing dark shades with white gown, going from place to place, giving big speeches when he should be out there in the trenches, making sure that Monrovia is clean. And other cities are clean around Monrovia. He's not responsible, but the other city mayors. But he's the city mayor of the capital city of Liberia. He can call all of the other city mayors and tell them, this is what we expect. But I see him passing around, making big speeches with dark shades on. Is that why they put you in positions? And I remember, just before the inauguration, he was out there in the trenches. He had on orange vest, yellow vest, orange vest, or whatever he had on, with hat on, with this workman hat on. And he was all over the place trying to make sure that garbages were. Now he's the city mayor. He's driving car. He's in a big car. He got a driver now. He's passing around doing what? Making big speeches and wearing dark shades. People cheering him. This is what carry our people, because we cheer everybody, whether you're good or bad. We cheer you on, and that's why they become so complacent. And our cities, our country is dilapidated, is dirty, it's not clean. And I don't care what you think about what I'm saying. Okay, I really don't care, because I'm passionate about my country. Even though you don't believe I'm a Liberian, but I'm truly a Liberian. So really, I don't care anymore. I'm not going to keep my mouth shut or keep the lid on the cup anymore. I'm going to say the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Subscribers, thank you for returning. Thanks for your consistency. I love you. Those of my viewers who have not subscribed, do your best to do what you have to do, okay? You know, you don't have to spend 1 cent to subscribe, all right? Just hit that subscribe button. Thank you all for sharing my videos. I was just checking, and I saw that many people have been sharing my videos, liking them, hitting the notification bell. I love that. Thank you so much. But we need to actually come to the drawing board and rethink our country. We need to be careful who we elect into power. Because when you elect anybody into power, guess what's going to happen? This is what we get. This is what we get today. Even though from the beginning they say, oh, everybody should paint their houses. People should go and clean the streets. Don't put garbage in the streets. Yeah, that's a good thing to say. But saying it and not doing it, they are two different things. So Liberians, let's be smart because we are smart people. So let's put that smartness into practice. Let's put it into practice. Liberia is a beautiful country. And the only way we can see the beauty of our country unless we get to work. Let's get to work. Let's roll up our sleeves. Let's roll up our trousers, our pants leg and get out there and make sure that our city, our country is clean and beautiful as it is and it should be. We love our country. We love Liberia. You know that. If somebody say talk bad about Liberia, you get mad. But do you think if you get mad at those who are not doing the work, who keeping our city the way they are because of what? Appointment by the president, dictatorship, authoritarian government that we have in Liberia. We say Republican. No, we don't have a Republican government. The legislature gave the president the right to be or what? A dictator, to decide anything he wants to do, and he can do it. That's why Boyka left the other day on a military plane and went to Ghana, and the press secretary was making excuses for him because he has the right to do it. So why are you complaining? Jeremiah Combs met billionaire and took private jet to Morocco and everywhere. Why are you complaining? You gave them the right to do it. I want to say thank you for being with me today. I appreciate you. So you have a blessed day. This is your show just for you, and this is your man, Sonny Wayne Fella.